Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, why are my teeth this color? Or maybe you've noticed some people just seem to have naturally whiter teeth than you. Well, today, we're going to get into the secrets behind tooth color straight from a dentist's perspective. It really all boils down to three main things: your genes, your habits, and, you guessed it, time.
So let's start with a really common, and let's be honest, super frustrating question. Why isn't my teeth whitening working? You know the drill. You've used the strips, you've tried the gels, you bought that special toothpaste, and the results are just meh. It's a huge frustration, but the answer isn't just about what you're doing wrong. It's really about understanding what's going on inside your teeth.
To really get to the bottom of this, we have to look inside. We need to peel back the layers, literally. Because the true secret to your tooth's color, it isn't just sitting on the surface. It's actually a combination of two really important internal layers of the tooth working together.
Okay, first up, we have the enamel. You can think of this as your tooth's bodyguard, its protective outer shell. It's actually the hardest substance in your entire body, and get this, it's naturally translucent. That just means light can pass right through it. This is the layer that most whitening products are trying to clean up. They're aiming to get rid of surface stains. Now, right underneath that enamel is the dentin. This makes up most of your tooth. It's the real substance of it, and its natural color is usually somewhere in that light yellow to cream-colored range. So since your enamel is kind of see-through, the color of this dentin layer is what's really shining through and determining your tooth's natural shade. This is such a critical point, and it's exactly why whitening treatments that only work on the surface can be so disappointing. All right, so that brings us to our first huge influence: genetics. Yep, long before you ever had your first sip of coffee, your DNA already set the stage. It laid out the blueprint for the natural color of your teeth. And don't just take my word for it. Dr. Renato Miotto-Paulo, a dentist, puts it perfectly. He explains that our own unique genetic code is what determines all these little characteristics of our dentin and our enamel. That's what sets our baseline color. So what does that really mean for you? Well, your genetics basically deal you a certain hand. You might have been born with dentin that's just naturally a bit more yellow. Or maybe you were lucky and got thicker enamel, which does a way better job of hiding that yellow dentin underneath. Or maybe your enamel is more translucent, which lets more of that dentin color peek through. This is exactly why a whitening kit might work miracles for your friend, but do almost nothing for you. Now, on top of that genetic foundation that we all have, we then start piling on the impact of our daily habits. You can almost think of your lifestyle like an artist palette, just constantly adding new shades and stains to your teeth over the years. And here are the usual suspects. You know them. Things like coffee, red wine, tea, even stuff you might not think about, like tomato sauce. They're all highly pigmented and acidic, and they can cause some serious staining over time. Then you've got sugary foods, which create acid that weakens your enamel. And of course, tobacco, which is notorious for leaving those tough, yellowish-brown stains. And you can really see the effect of all this right here. On the left, we've got a nice, healthy tooth. But look at the right. Over time, that enamel has gradually soaked up stains, making it look duller and a lot more discolored. But wait, it's not just about what you eat or drink, it's also about how you clean your teeth. A huge mistake people make is being way too aggressive. Using gritty, abrasive toothpastes or just brushing way too hard can literally scrub away your protective enamel. And when that enamel gets thinner, what happens? More of that naturally yellow dentin shows through. And that brings us to the last factor, the one that none of us can escape: time. Just like every other part of our body, our teeth naturally change as we get older, and that has a direct and pretty significant impact on their color. Dr. Paulo explains this one perfectly too. He says it's kind of a double whammy. As we age, that dentin inside our teeth, it naturally gets darker. At the exact same time, the enamel on the outside gets thinner and more see-through after a lifetime of chewing and grinding, which lets even more of that darker dentin show. So let's break that down. When we're younger, our teeth have this great advantage: thick, less translucent enamel that's covering up a lighter shade of dentin. But as we get older, that whole equation flips. The enamel thins out, and the dentin gets darker. The result? A smile that just naturally looks less white over the years. Okay, so we've talked about genetics, lifestyle, and aging. It might sound like the deck is stacked against you, but it's not all bad news, I promise. There is actually a lot we can do to protect our enamel and keep our smiles looking as bright as possible for as long as we can. So here's your game plan. Number 1, be gentle. Protect that precious enamel by using a soft bristled brush. Number 2, Floss every single day. So many stains and so much plaque builds up between the teeth. 3. Just be a little more mindful of your diet. Try to cut back on those super staining foods and drinks we talked about. 4. Make sure you're visiting your dentist for regular professional cleanings. And finally, and this is so important, always talk to them before you start any new whitening product, just to make sure it's safe and actually the right choice for your teeth.
So, there you have it. Your tooth color is this really complex story, written by your DNA, your daily choices, and just the passage of time. Knowing all this is the first step. The next step? Well, that's up to you. So when you think about your own habits, what's one small change you could make today to help protect your smile for tomorrow?